Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. My name is Harmony. If you guys are new, welcome. If you guys are returning, thank you for coming back and welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by the title of today's video, it's going to be all about surrogacy and answering questions that I've been asked frequently about being a surrogate. And yeah, we're just gonna dive in. If I do not answer any questions that you're curious about, please comment your questions down below and I will do a part 2 to this video. When I first decided I was going to be a surrogate, I looked up surrogate questions and stuff, and honestly there really isn't that much information about it on the internet. Like, not a lot of people talk about their experience doing it while doing it, so I wanted to do that because I know that I had a lot of questions when I started this journey and I'm still learning stuff. So right now I am 24 weeks pregnant, almost 25 weeks. I just went to the doctor today and everything is good, except it's not bad, but the baby's umbilical cord is like on the side of the placenta instead of right in the middle. I'm not a doctor, so I'm just saying what they told me, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just they want to monitor the pregnancy a little closer, and then they're not going to let me go past my due date, so which is good because I really don't want to be pregnant for 42 weeks. But anyway, yeah, so everything is good. I feel good. I have my energy back, and yeah, the first trimester though, girl, woo, that shit was hard. Someone had commented and she was asking me like a lot of questions, so I'm gonna find that question real quick. So she asked me a bunch of questions, so I'm just gonna answer all of her questions because I'm sure that a lot of people have these questions if they're trying to be a surrogate. So how often do you communicate with the intended parents? So for me personally, everybody is different. I had a friend who did it, and I guess her intended parents were like talking to her all the time. One of my other friends who is doing it, her and her intended parents talk pretty often. Me and my intended parents don't really talk that often. They do talk to me, but I send them like pictures and stuff, but they don't talk to me all the time. So I would say like maybe once a month, like if that. They're really nice, but also my intended parents are Chinese and they speak broken English. So we talk through an app called WeChat. So I'm not like FaceTiming them, I'm not like talking to them on the phone or anything. So it's all through an app. Body changes, so for me personally, every pregnancy is different, obviously. I noticed that with this pregnancy, my boobs have gotten huge. Like, I'm not even kidding when I say they've grown like triple in size, like huge. My butt's gotten bigger, my thighs have gotten bigger. I've only gained 15 pounds, so yeah, I feel like my face has gotten a little chubbier too, but I feel like that's just normal. For me, the type of weight that I gain, like when I do gain weight, it's just like all over. Like I just gain weight everywhere, and then when I lose weight, I just like lose weight everywhere. So I don't gain weight more so in like my arms or my legs or not one certain place. I gain weight everywhere. And yeah, mostly my butt. But you know, it's okay because I like to have a booty. I don't have any stretch marks on my stomach. I do have some on my butt, but I don't mind them. I've always had them though, so I don't think that it's from the pregnancy. But besides that, yeah, obviously my stomach is getting bigger. Pregnancy symptoms for me is throwing up. Like I throw up all the time. Like I said, I'm in my second trimester and I still throw up. Not as much as I did the first trimester, but I also have a medication. I'm taking Zofran to help with the nausea and vomiting, because if I don't take it, then I just feel like shit. And yeah, I usually throw up only in the mornings now, not all the time. I'm telling you, like my first trimester was a struggle. I made a video back in April and I just uploaded that a couple days ago, so I will link that down below, and I'll also put a card right here so you guys can see it. And it's just real raw. Like I just look freaking ugly, and it was just how I was feeling, so I was just venting about feeling like shit basically. The difference between your first pregnancy to this one, the difference between this pregnancy and the last one, I would say, I don't know, it's just different because I'm older and I'm also a mom this time. So my first pregnancy, I obviously didn't have a child, and now I do. My son is 5, So it's just different. And also I was in a relationship during that pregnancy, and this time I'm single, so it's just really different. Symptom wise, like actual pregnancy wise, it's pretty much the same. Like I had the same symptoms with my son. I was throwing up all the time and I was tired all the time, same thing. But yeah, just the circumstances of my life is a little different. But I'm also older, so it's just different. If I work, yes, I do work. I have 2 jobs. So I work at a restaurant as a server and a bartender. Then I also work at MAC Cosmetics as a freelance artist. But then I also do freelance makeup for like weddings and stuff. And then I also do YouTube. And then I also walk dogs. What I wanted to do with this pregnancy is I wanted to really get my life together. That's what I'm doing this year. Like 2019 for me is the year of getting my shit together, because I have made some stupid decisions financially as when I was 18, 19, 20, 21. So now I'm 24. I'm just trying to kind of make up from that. I'm trying to fix my credit. I'm paying off all of my debt that I have, and yeah, so by the end of the year, all of my debt will have been paid off besides my car. Like I still owe something on my car, but that's fine. Like I need a car. I actually refinanced it this year, so I was able to get a lower payment, so thank God. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm obviously still working because I'm trying to get my life together for me and my son. What do you tell your coworkers and friends when they ask you questions about your pregnancy? That's a good question. So I obviously had told my friends and my family, like my close friends, my close family, way before I even applied to do it. I think I told my mom first and my dad, and I just told them like, yeah, I'm thinking about being a surrogate. And I told one of my uncles who I'm fairly close with, and he kind of was like, no, you shouldn't do it, telling me like I shouldn't do it, blah blah blah. And I get his concerns, but at the same time, like, this is my life, this is my decision. And it was something that I prayed about for so long. Like I prayed about, you know, finding a way to get more stable, finding a way to help someone, and this was just like the perfect way to do that. And then at work and stuff, people, you know, see I'm pregnant, like my coworkers, and I'll just tell them like I'm a surrogate, and then people obviously start asking me all these questions and stuff. But yeah, I just really tell people. Sometimes it's kind of annoying because to, you know, a regular person on the street, they just assume that I'm pregnant and it's my baby. But people will be like, oh, what are you having? What are you naming him? Or what are you naming her? Is it a boy or a girl? And I have to say like, oh, I'm a surrogate. And then they start asking questions. So yeah, obviously just when you're pregnant, people just ask you questions. When are you due? So my due date is December 4th this year, obviously. December 4th. But my doctor said, like I said earlier, I'm not going to go past that day, and she told me that most likely they will induce me at 39 or 40 weeks, depending on how everything is looking and stuff. Like the last month I have to go to the doctor twice every week so that they can monitor the baby and make sure that everything's good, there's enough fluid and all that stuff. So if I don't go into labor naturally by 39 weeks, then they'll induce me. And she said that 37 weeks, she'll start stripping my membranes, whatever that means. Like when she checks my cervix, she'll start stripping it so that hopefully my body will just naturally go into labor. I was actually induced with my son too. So how does compensation work? So every agency, every surrogacy agency is different. And I'm sure that it also depends on the state you're in. California is a very common state for doing surrogacy. I know a lot of states are actually illegal to do it, but California is one of the most common surrogacy states. You basically get paid monthly, and you know, they pay for your food, they give you money for clothes, at least my agency. And yeah, like the parents just really take care of you and make sure that you're good because you are carrying their child. So I don't really feel comfortable saying how much money I'm making just because that's like personal, but you can look it up. Every agency, like I said, is different, so just depends. you could do it up to 6 times in California, and each time you get paid more. So it just really depends. And also, if you have to have a C-section, you get more. If you have to be induced, I think you get more. Like, there's different, like, there's something for everything. Like, if something went wrong, they have all of that stuff in your contract when you sign up to do it. Also, being single and pregnant. So obviously I went into this single, and I'm not gonna lie, being pregnant and a surrogate and single, it's really hard because it's kind of put a pause on my dating life, because I can't really date someone while I'm pregnant. Like, I mean, I guess I could, but it's just hard because it's not the best time to get to know somebody, you know? Like, I'm not trying to get to know somebody while I'm pregnant, because it's not that I'm not myself, but I mean, I'm not myself right now. I am myself, but you know, when you're pregnant, you have a lot of hormones, you have a lot of feelings, and it's just a lot for someone to start dating somebody who's pregnant. And there was this one guy who I really liked, and it wasn't going to work right now while I'm pregnant. So I mean, I don't know if we will reconnect in the future after I have the baby, but being single has definitely been one of the hardest parts of this entire thing, just because I feel like when you're pregnant, your body just naturally craves a partner, because that's how we are programmed. Going through this alone has been really hard. Also, like, I do want more kids of my own, so it makes me kind of sad that, you know, I'm not in that position of my life right now. But I know that everything happens for a reason. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen. So I know that in the future, when the timing is right, that will happen. So if you're trying to be a surrogate and you're worried because you're single, just know that it is hard, but it is possible, and it's only temporary. What is the difference between traditional surrogacy and gestational surrogacy? Gestational surrogacy means that they're taking the sperm and the egg from the parents and then putting it together and then putting it inside of the person, which that's what I am. I'm a gestational surrogate. And then a traditional surrogate is when you donate your eggs, and so it's your egg, someone's sperm, and you carry it and then you give them the baby. Gay couples will do that. We'll get a traditional surrogate so that, you know, they obviously don't have an egg, so they'll use one of their sperms and the surrogate's egg, and then they will keep the baby. I personally could never do that. Couldn't do it. I just, like, you know, that's my baby and I want my babies, so I couldn't do that. But kudos to women who do. But yeah, I'm a gestational carrier, so it's not my egg at all. What are the benefits of being a surrogate? So for me, obviously the number one thing is helping someone become a parent. Like, being a parent is the most amazing thing in the world. Like, you have a little human being that is yours, and it's just so crazy. Like, every time I look at my son when he's sleeping, like, I'm just like, oh, I love you so much. Like, I cannot wait to have more children, because I just think that it's like the most amazing thing ever is being a parent. Obviously for me, like I said, this has helped me immensely financially, and it's just helped me, you know, grow as a person. I can't, you know, drink or anything, so it's just helped me really stay focused on my goals and stay focused on what I need to do without any distractions from, you know, social life, if that makes sense. What are the risks of being a surrogate? Obviously the risk of being a surrogate is pregnancy. There's risk with pregnancy in general. You know, obviously I pray that my pregnancy continues to be healthy and that everything is smooth, and I am scared of labor. I am scared of delivery. I am scared of all that stuff, but I try not to think about it too much, and I also just have to keep telling myself, like, it's only temporary, it's only temporary, and at the end the couple will be able to have their beautiful baby, and my body will recover. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about how my body's gonna look after. I know that I'm going to bounce back. I know it. So I'm just not worried about it. But yeah, like there's risks with everything, but pregnancy is a very risky thing. That's obviously why you're getting paid, because you're putting your body through a lot, physically, mentally, emotionally. I personally don't know how I'm going to feel after, like postpartum wise, but obviously I will keep you guys updated and let you know. Another question people ask is, how do you not get attached to the baby? So it's not so much to me about like getting attached, because obviously like I'm carrying this baby and it's inside of me and I feel him kicking all the time, and I do feel, you know, somewhat of a connection, I guess, just because it's inside of me. But it's so different than it was with my son. What are the requirements of being a surrogate? Every agency has different requirements. The number one thing, well, it's not the number one, but basically like you have to have had a pregnancy already. That's like just period. You have to have already had a healthy, not preterm pregnancy, like, because they want to make sure that you're even able to carry a baby full term. You have to be within a certain age. I'm not sure the youngest, but I'm pretty sure that the oldest is like 38, I want to say. You have to have a healthy BMI. So you have to be healthy, you know, you can't be like super overweight. You can't be a smoker or use drugs, so you know, you can't be freaking smoking cigarettes and smoking weed and stuff. So like I said, you have to have a previous healthy pregnancy with no complications. It's a long application process. It goes by fast, but it is long. It's about 6 months. You have to get your medical records from your hospital of your previous pregnancy, delivery, all of that stuff. They check it, make sure that everything was fine. You have to go to your OBGYN. You have to get written consent from your OBGYN saying that your OBGYN thinks that you're a good candidate for surrogacy. You have to get a pap smear. You have to be financially stable. So you can't be like living on EBT, basically. You have to have an ability to get to and from doctor's appointments, whether that's yourself or if you have, you know, a partner or something that can take you to all your appointments. You have to have a clean criminal record. You can't have any felonies. You have to undergo the agency's screening process. So they do a medical one and they do a psychological one. So the psychological one is a full psych evaluation. They don't want a crazy person carrying a baby. So they ask you a bunch of questions and they make sure that you're mentally stable enough to actually, you know, carry someone else's baby, because that's like a big deal. And then the medical one is they take so many tubes of blood, like literally 12 tubes of blood. They do a pap smear, they do a full medical evaluation, make sure that you are 100% healthy for the pregnancy. But like I said, every agency's requirements are going to be different. So that's all the questions I'm going to be answering today. I hope that this video helps someone if you are trying to become a surrogate, or if you're just curious about, you know, surrogacy. If you guys have any other questions, like I said, please ask me in the comments down below if I missed anything, or, you know, if I forgot, left something out, whatever. And then make sure you guys subscribe to my channel so you guys don't miss any videos. I am documenting my entire surrogacy journey, so make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss anything. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.